Today we're gonna try this really cool monopod shot. I wouldn't dare try it before until now because things have changed. This is the new YC Onion Pineta monopod carbon fiber with the extension rod. So let's try this. Hey, how's it going, guys? Been a minute. So I'm gonna talk about why I haven't uploaded a single video on this channel for about 8 months. That's gonna be on a separate video sometime down the road. But what I will include in this video is how I got those shots exactly. That's gonna be towards the end of this video. But the reason why I haven't really dared to try that monopod shot is because I never found a monopod that was, first of all, long enough to actually reach that far. That was about 12 feet in the air, by the way. And something that's strong enough that I don't feel like the monopod is just gonna snap off. You don't wanna be like this guy, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel for that guy. So when YC Onion told me about this monopod, I was very excited because it looked like it had a huge potential. Now, did it live up to that potential? Let me tell you guys about it. So as usual, I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of this product. Now, no product is perfect, right? So I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on this. This video is not sponsored by YC Onion. They did give me this monopod pretty early on to try it. So the first pro of this monopod, as you guessed it, this rod is stiff. I'm talking about carbon fiber, but not just any kind of carbon fiber. This is thick carbon fiber, aluminum construction. And the whole entire thing feels really nice and well constructed. Now I'm gonna compare this to my older monopod, and that is the Suray. This is the SR series. Now I had this for 5 years, guys. So definitely stand up to its time. Now this is not an apple to apple comparison, obviously, because this is aluminum, this is carbon fiber, but it's a really good comparison because this is kind of like the standard go-to monopod for me, and this is gonna be potential future monopod. So the biggest difference really is the how you extend this monopod, right? Traditionally, you have this, and a lot of the tripods are like this too. So you unscrew this and the whole thing comes out, but each section you have to do it separately, right? And a lot of times if you don't use this monopod for a long time, like right now, I forgot, see, sometimes spin the other way and you never know if it's locked completely or not. So sometimes your camera just ends up falling down. So yes, it can undo the whole entire thing and extend it right away. But again, like you have to lock each one of them separately. So it does take a little bit of time to set this up. Whereas this is probably the second most innovative part of this monopod. And I say the second because I'm gonna save the best part for later. All right, so this one, they're calling this Piezo flip lock, not flip flop. You push this one, so that's the safety mechanism. So you push that and the lever comes up. Now, if you put the lever halfway through like this, that extends the monopod, the top portion of the monopod, right? And if you press the lever all the way up like this, and now you don't want to be holding this down because that does create friction. So you put all the way up and let it go. That extends the bottom part all the way out. And at that point, all you gotta do is just lock the top part again, and that is completely secure, guys. This ain't going nowhere. Now, another cool thing about this is that you can do micro adjustment really quick. So again, all you gotta do is unlock that, and then just find a micro adjustment, right? And then you can lock it back. You don't have to bend down to unscrew anything. That is like super convenient. And speaking of convenient, let me go ahead and go fold this down really quick. Yep, there you go. So they have this quick release plate built in to the top of the monopod. This is a very strong, solid, quick release plate. I mean, we're talking about there's 6 metal balls in there, and this thing locks in real quick. There you go. Yeah, also not going anywhere. And I love that there's a large surface area on the top. And that's how I was able to put my gimbal on the top without feeling like it's gonna snap off, right? Now what's cool about this quick release is that once you release this, you can have an extension rod. So this is an optional extension rod, also carbon fiber, much lighter than the actual monopod, but this extension rod feels so solid in here, and that's not going anywhere also. And the extension rod itself, this is about 20 inches, and the actual monopod extends up to 57 inches. That's how I got to 12 feet, because, you know, raising it up in my hand, the whole entire thing is about 77 inches tall when you extend it all the way with the extension rod. Now, there are other monopods out there that can extend 77 inches or higher, but problem with those is that the capacity on that and the strength of the monopod, I don't think it's strong enough to support a gimbal like this. And during the whole time I was just running with this monopod, I never felt like the monopod was flexing so much to a point where I was losing control. And that's important because I love getting that fake drone shot or the fake crane shot, especially for weddings. And weddings such a run and gun. I love the fact that I can just extend this monopod really quick and drop that tripod feet within milliseconds because these always get in the way. So I'm very excited to try that shot out in a wedding. And the next pro of this monopod is the fact that this is very versatile and multifunctional. And what I mean by that, really, it has to do with this tripod here. Let me go ahead and extend this out. Here you go. All right, this is really cool. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and undock this tripod here real quick. All right, so on the very bottom of this monopod, there is a 1/4-20 thread there. So that's gonna come in handy in a second. So what I can do here is take off the actual rubber feet. You see that right there? And that's gonna go on the bottom of this monopod. So when you do this, the whole entire monopod becomes a hiking stick, or you could just use it like this. But you know, you're not grinding that metal against rocks and concrete. So yes, not everyone's gonna go hiking or walk with this stick, but that is one function that's added to this. But the next one is what really counts. So on the Surae monopod, one of the limitation I would say, I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this part. And you know how you can do like the fake slider shot with the monopod? So the Surae, the whole entire movement of this monopod, you can only do about 20 degrees forward and 20 degrees backwards. So it's kind of limiting in the sense that you can't get a full range of motion when you're doing that shot. Whereas in YC Onion, they probably thought of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this. So the full motion not only goes up to 20 degrees, but you can actually go all the way down. So 90 degrees all the way down, giving you a full motion back and forth when you're going to do that fake slider shot. So let me show you the last pro of this monopod, and this is the most innovative. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm very excited to show you. And the most innovative part about this monopod is this thing right here. It's just a tiny little thing, but it makes a huge difference. So what you see up here is a 3/8 screw size, that's what you think, and it looks like it's an adapter, right? You know, those tiny little adapters that we all love to just screw on and get stuck on, and you trying to like take it out. You know what I'm talking about? Like these things right here. How many times, shoot, or that. How many times did I forget this and had to like MacGyver my way out of it? So this is, you know, been the traditional way of converting your 1/4-20 to 3/8. So I thought, oh, that's what that is. And I tried to unscrew this at first, but that's not what this is. You see this right here? Yeah, I'm not gonna describe what that looks like. Yeah, this 3/8 converts into 1/4-20 just by screwing on. So all I gotta do right here, this is 3/8, that's 1/4-20. And if I just screw in, yeah, that whole entire foreskin just like slides down. Yeah, I can't describe it. I don't know how to describe it. So yes, I think that is the most innovative thing I've ever seen this year. All right, so now that we talked about pros of this monopod, let's talk about some cons, or the limitation you should be aware of. So this monopod, although carbon fiber, it is a chunky boy. This thing weighs 1,700 grams, guys. So yes, it's sturdy and really high quality, but because of how it's constructed, it is a little bit heavier. So the Surae monopod, even though it's aluminum, this thing is actually 200 grams lighter than this monopod. So there is an aluminum version of the YC Onion Pineta. So you can get this in aluminum, which is actually 200 grams heavier than this one. But I think that's very minimal because a lot of the weight really comes from this bottom part. So the bottom part is all aluminum constructions, heavy solid metal. So if you don't mind the weight and you don't have a thing for carbon fiber, I think the aluminum is a pretty solid option for you. All right, so the second thing you need to be aware of is the fact that when you first get this monopod, and I kind of have the pre-production model, so the production model, maybe it's better. When you unfold these legs, they're pretty stiff. Like they come very, very stiff. So what's gonna happen is I think one of the legs, this one. This one, I unscrewed this just slightly, so it's a little bit easier. But this edge right here, guys, is super sharp. So it doesn't bother me right now as much, but when it's like really, really cold out there and you don't have gloves on and you squeeze this really hard, it does hurt your hand a little bit. Not enough to like cut you, but just something you need to be aware of. You probably wanna loosen this screw up just a little bit when you first get it, and you can tighten it back when it gets too loose, just like the Surae monopod. So the Surae monopod, I think their best innovation really is how quickly you can that is just easy. So I love that about the Surae monopod. Obviously there's other things, like everything else takes forever to set this up. Oh, and there's one more thing that I like about Surae monopod, and that is the automatic vertical 90 degrees setup. Let me show you what I mean by that. Gonna unscrew that a little bit. Okay, so once this is loose and I screw this all the way back in, what this does, and this is especially useful if you're drinking actually be on the set, that allows it for complete 90 degrees automatically. Even if you're complete drunk, you can tell that's 90 degrees because I screwed that all the way down. YC Onion on the other hand, let me go ahead and unfold this out. So there is no mechanism to do that. So you can control the angle of the monopod with this screw. So tighten it, obviously it will tighten it for you, but you can't exactly set it to 90 degrees without looking at it. Like right now, I know this is not 90 degrees because I didn't drink and record this. So all I gotta do is unscrew that a little bit. Yeah, that's about 90 degrees, tighten it down. Again, it's not a huge deal unless you drink at your job, but something to note. All right, so the last con really is my wish for YC Onion. And if you guys can make this happen, this will be like a perfect product. So the quick release plate, genius. I love this because I can put this on my gimbal. You know, even though that's 3/8 and that's 1/4-20, I just can't get over that. Beautiful, right? However, I don't have another small base plate on here to put it on my gimbal tripod. This is pretty small, but you know, I want this to be like ready to go so I can just dock it, you know? Yes, technically I can do this. I can undock that and put this on my gimbal. Problem with this, obviously, yes, it's quick, but I'm not gonna walk around with this doing my gimbal shot and be ready to put this on a monopod. So, YC Onion, if you could make a small base plate, you know, just size of this, you know, this thing doesn't detach. So basically this part right here, if you sold this separately, this would be a complete game changer again for a lot of the gimbal users. So for now, my solution is gonna be to put Juin's their own trans-mount quick release plate. So I'm gonna be putting a quick release plate on top of a quick release plate just so I can work with this, but it would be awesome if the whole thing is one package. All right, so let's talk about how I got that intro sequence shot. So obviously, as you guessed it, the first shot where the truck is coming at me, yeah, they're not actually coming at me. It's actually done in reverse, but you knew that already. But how did I make it look like the camera was going underneath the truck and spinning around to face forward? Aha, that is the Insta360, my friend. So I very quickly switch over to the Insta360 shot and just spin it around in post to face forward. And I just came out of the back of the truck to get that shot. And a little fun fact, that sequence, you've probably seen it. So that's an F-150 Lightning. The official F-150 Lightning commercial had that shot in it. I think they shot it with the drone. But when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Except I live in Washington, D.C. Like I can't do that shot with the drone. And that's why this monopod is gonna come in very handy. I can do that high, tall, fake drone shot without worrying about like my gimbal falling off. So this is gonna be my favorite monopod going forward. Now, as of this recording, I don't have pricing for these, so I do hope that they price these right. So I'm gonna link those all in the description. I'm gonna have B&H and Amazon links there, so go ahead and check that out. All right, so since I'm back, I really hope to see you guys on the next video. Till next time, make it a tall one.